In the last video, I showed you how to build the world's most efficient solar heater. There are no videos on YouTube showing you how to install a solar heater. What do you think, Ruger? Yeah? Pushing out 122 degrees. Well, we got 30 days till the apocalypse, so practice some self-care.
Bombs might drop, skies might crack, but we'll be rolling, no looking back. Neighbors freak, they're bolting fast. I'm just here with my cocktail glass. Streets lit up, flames on deck.
Let's drill.
Through the barren lands I wander alone. The sky, the smoky gray, no sun to be shown. Memories of a world that's lost in time. Dusty trails lead me to the end of a line. In the wasteland I'll play my tune. In the silence beneath the moon.
Best place to position your panel is facing true south. And we want to take advantage of that solar noon, the most intense sunlight. This is at about 12 o'clock.
Yeah, you're being a good helper.
The sky's still up, but not for long. I'm cutting glass while drones hum along. Smoke rolls in, must be wildfire season. Building heat while the grid finds a reason. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. I didn't push the button. I'm just here. Turning scrap into something. Laugh it up, call it insane. But when it's cold, we'll see who's laughing again.
Ever dream of escaping the wasteland and leaving all your baggage behind? Starhopper pods are here to make your wildest fantasies lift off, whether it's the mutants, the raiders, or that neighbor who keeps accidentally showing up shirtless. Starhopper takes you far, far away. Powered by fission cores and hopeful engineering, it's the one-way ticket you'll only regret if you survive the landing. Starhopper pods, when running isn't far enough.
Never.
Figure out the altitude of the sun and where the shade line is going to be for different times of year. You're going to tape your phone to a straight edge. Imagine that that blue line is the horizon, or always level. You put it against the edge of your overhang in your wall, and when you get the right angle, then you'll mark the top of your stick on the wall. And that's where you want to try to put the top of your panel. Now ideally, you want your intake hole to be down here and your exhaust hole to be up here, or intake here and exhaust up here. You can move that intake hole anywhere along the bottom if you need to, also at the top if you need to, but you want to make sure they're as far apart as you can get. That way the air has time to mix through here rather than just in and right back out. And keep in mind your studs are 16 inches on center, and I will show you how to find your studs.
Stay a couple of studs away from windows, doors, corners, and outlets. Locate all studs within the panel dimensions. Outlets and switches are usually nailed to the side of a stud. That's a good starting point.
Hey there, Wastelanders. This is Galaxy Groove Radio. There's a new doctor in town, goes by the name of Nina. She's offering half off on amputations, and that's not just a discount, it's a guarantee. Got a sore limb? She'll lop it off. Got a bad attitude? She'll probably lop that off too. No license, no waiting room, no refunds. Doc Nina's Cut Rate Clinic.
Because who needs two of anything anyway?
Let me show you guys how I find the studs in the wall in here. You can either use a stud finder or kind of a strong magnet. And you'll just come along the wall where you think a stud is, and you'll feel the nails in the stud.
The little button magnets are definitely strong enough to find the nails.
To use the stud finder, you want to push the button down, and then you'll start moving. And there's a stud. You'll mark that little red line, and when you come to the next edge of the stud, you'll mark right there too. And then you can figure out where the center of that stud is. When you push the button down for the first time, make sure you're not on a stud. If you are, it'll just go off. And you can see the graph on the screen will slowly close in right there. When you encounter electrical lines in the wall,
You'll get that electrical warning symbol and a beeping sound.
you can also use a non-contact voltage detector. Just turn this to volts, and then there's one right here you'll hold down. Non-contact voltage. L means low, like you're far away, and the H means you're very close.
Quick PSA from Galaxy Groove. Do not eat the berries growing near Bloodroot Valley. Unless, of course, you like hallucinating death claws wearing bow ties. In that case, bon appetit.
Okay guys, let's figure out where to put the panel. Find your March shade line on the exterior wall. Then you'll bring that measurement inside and mark your interior wall. Make sure you measure from your floor up to your March shade line. And then you're going to measure off from the March shade line down 5 inches, and you'll make a mark. Make it level. And then you'll come off from the center of the stud next to it, and you'll come over 11 inches, mark that. And now you might need to connect this one and this one together, but make sure you use a level. Now you want to use a level and come straight down to the floor, make a mark at the floor, and then you will come up 6 inches using your level. Make sure you put a mark at 6 inches, and that will help you use a level to go across the floor, this 26 inches, and find the center of your lower hole.
The diagonal hole-to-hole dimension can be used to check the precise location of your lower hole after you've followed the previous steps.
Make the template.
You can get cardboard from feed stores. Make sure to trim the template or pattern to the exact size of your heater.
We're going to lay it on top of the, I've got 2 sheets here, and I'm going off the factory edges to line up with the heater box. And this is going to be our template for the back side to mark out where the 4-inch holes are going to go. Alright, got the template cut out and taped together real good. We don't want it flying apart in the wind. Figure out inside where you want to put your heater. You can take that measurement from your holes over to the corner of the room for this one and for this one. And you'll take those measurements outdoors and you'll pull from the corner of the house over. So add the thickness of your wall when you're measuring on the outside to make sure your heater on the outside is not going to run into anything. But if your walls are too short for some reason, you can take your heater and lay it down long ways like this.
Attention, all you trigger-happy wastelanders. This is Galaxy Groove Radio with a critical PSA. Please stop shooting at the rad roaches near Crater Crossroads. Why? Turns out they've developed exploding pheromones. Yes, exploding. You shoot one, boom, your eyebrows are gone, and mine are still recovering from the last guy's mistake. So unless you like roasted face, keep the safeties on.
You're welcome.
Now if you went ahead and you got all your measurements around on the inside and the outside, making sure that everything is going to fit. We'll run a 1/4 inch by 12 inch drill bit in the center of your top hole from the inside, and we'll drill that to the outside. And you can go ahead and leave your bit in the wall because we're going to make a cardboard template, and then we're going to pop that template over the end of the drill bit and push it onto your drill bit. Alright, I'm in the bathroom, is where I decided to install it. First thing you want to do is you want to make sure you're in between studs with your holes. And I'll show you the bit I use to get through the wall. 12 inch by 1/4 twist drill bit. And make sure your bit remains level and straight as you're drilling through.
Because a 4-inch hole saw will jam if you're not drilling through the center of one of the logs, I had to move my panel in a couple of different ways that's going to be different than that's on the diagram for you guys. In other words, the logs limited my options.
Now my intake hole is actually right around here. I would have liked to have been down there.
But I had to make sure that it goes through the center of the logs at both the top and the bottom, so. It ended up shifting the whole box to the left. My lower hole is a lot more toward the center because of that. Not at that optimum kitty corner, furthest apart you can get. But that's okay, it still works really good.
Okay, I got my drill bit pushed back through the wall so we can hang the template on it. And push it onto your drill bit.
I've already measured and marked my template per the diagram. I used the 4-inch hole saw to draw the circle and mark the center of it. You can pre-drill the center with a 1/4 inch drill bit before popping it onto the drill bit protruding from the wall.
Alright, get your marker and your level ready because we're going to level the top and then mark where it's level. Right there. I'm marking the corner on the wood on the house. My corner mark on the wood right there. Now we're going to raise the template back up and just put some screws in it.
You could use good tape and screws inside the 4-inch holes. Just make sure it won't move.
I went inside and I measured over from the drill bit where it's coming through the wall, from there over to the stud, and I marked the wall. So this is where the stud is on the inside. That'll help me find where the studs are down here. Now let's find the studs across the bottom. From that mark over to the side of the cardboard is 1 5/8 up there. Yours might be different. I'm going to mark the wall. And now I come off here every 16 inches.
I have no idea what my neighbor's noisemaker is. I think it's a turkey. I don't know. I probably should know, seeing as how I'm going to eat it.
So down here, for me particularly, I want to drill my hole saw into the high point of one of the logs, so I'm trying to hit the center. So I want to go in the center of one of my logs, and in between the studs. That's about as centered as you can go, is the best. I'm going to come over here a little bit and just leave myself plenty of space away from the stud.
Where lovers belong, in shadows of towers that once stood tall, hope endures for after the fall.
Only after you drill the upper pilot hole from inside the house, make sure you drill from the outside of your house on your lower pilot hole. This is what makes the pattern accurate enough to trace it onto the back side of the heater. Also ensures your 4-inch hole saw won't cut into the outer or inner framing of the heater.
It's important to hold your drill bit level when you're going through. All right, I'm actually going to come over this way a little bit more just to stay well clear of the stud.
Usually have a cup of water on hand to cool off my drill bits every couple of seconds. A cool bit cuts faster, including the 4-inch hole saw, and less of a chance you start a fire in your wall.
Boom, the way wastelands flew. The moment that I roamed, clear skies went boom. I wandered through the tune with shooting stars. The moment that I found you, oh, the nights went bright. In the wasteland light, I danced through endless tunes underneath the stars and moon.
Go ahead and flip your heater over on something soft like carpet, and then you're going to mark the backside with the top here, and then right bottom down here. This is the top of the box up here. Remember, the other end has that little drain hole. So we've got the top up here. But now we want to flip it over to match how it's going to go on the wall. Like that.
You don't want the cardboard to move, so make sure you tape it onto the panel really good. You can even run the tape around to the front side and grab a hold of the glass.
We're going to use the hole saw to go through the cardboard and through the foam. You definitely want to make sure you don't go down too far and hit the aluminum foil.
Keep in mind, if you do put a hole in the foil, that's not good.
Before I get all the way through that foam, I'm going to take a vacuum and pull out as much dust as I can. Now, you can vacuum this, but make sure you don't get down in there and suck the aluminum up with your vacuum. Now you're going to take your dryer tape and we're going to run it inside all of the holes.
Make sure you have 1 to 2 inches on the inside and outside, and press it down really firmly.
I'll go ahead and get the rest of those done, and then I'll show you what it looks like.
And you go ahead and do the same exact thing for the top hole.
Go ahead and use your tape to go over any poke holes in the foam. Okay, let's go ahead and tape in the silicone wire. Got equal lengths there, so go ahead and move this back off the edge.
Well, survivors. This is a quick PSA. Feral ghoul sightings just spiked near Dead Man's Alley. If you're heading that way, don't forget your Ghoul Be Gone cologne. 1 spritz, and even the nastiest ghoul won't want to bite. Smell fresh, stay undead free. And remember, if they're not running, you're not spraying.
You know, man, on it, go out and leave, go be at the
Using a 3/8" drill bit, drill through only the foam about 2 inches from the edge of the holes. Careful not to puncture the foil. Let's put a little tape on the ends of these wire. I'm putting tape on the ends of the wire to blunt it, so when I drop it through the hole, it won't puncture the foil. Go ahead and feed your wires down through there. And with your hand, just make sure the wire goes down and isn't stabbing the aluminum foil. Go ahead and get out your silicone, and we're going to silicone the hole where the wire goes through. So you just back it out a little bit, back the wire out a little bit. You'll squeeze silicone all the way around the wire, and a little bit will go through the foam, and that's fine. Just don't put a bunch down through there or it'll drip through. Same on the top. Just work the silicone around. And put some more tape across there.
Hey there, Wastelanders. This is Galaxy Groove Radio here with a heads up. Looks like acid rain's on the way near Junktown. So unless you want to end up looking like a melted Mirelurk, grab yourself a trusty Radguard poncho. Keeps you dry, keeps you safe, and you'll look sharper than a freshly looted laser rifle. Don't brave the storm unprepared. Grab a Radguard and ride it out in style.
Now go ahead and go inside and with your phone, make sure the wire has not been siliconed to the aluminum foil. Now I'm going to go ahead and drill these holes out with a 4-inch hole saw from the inside out. Then I'll probably have to go outside because of the logs are so thick, and finish drilling through. You want to hold your drill level. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and drill out the lower hole as well, get that drywall out of there, and then glove up and separate that insulation.
Calling insane, but when it gets cold, she's laughing again. Storms are breaking, markets crash, news feeds burn while I'm hoarding trash. Who needs hope? Out to eat. Survival, just stay off your feet.
With a really sharp blade, you want to take and cut into the insulation. You want to just cut it all the way through. Now I have a couple of inches of foam to go through as well behind there. You may not. Alright, I got part of the way through the log from the inside. Now I'm going to drill it from the outside in. If it doesn't fall out, then we'll use a long drill bit. I'll show you. Keep your drill level. Bottom hole is complete. Now we need to do the top one. So check out what I ran into.
I'd forgot to use my magnet outdoors.
That is a steel rod that holds all the logs together. I'm just gonna have to go around it with my vent pipe.
You want your pipe to protrude about 2 inches from the exterior wall. That will leave 1 inch between the wall and the panel and not protrude too deep into the heater, reducing the airflow.
Hey there, tired survivors. Feeling sluggish, achy, maybe suspiciously irradiated? Try Glomax capsules, packed with energy-boosting compounds and only a minor chance of mutations. Side effects may include glowing eyes, extra limbs, and an unshakable urge to eat batteries. But hey, no one's perfect. Glomax.
Because survival's not for the weak.
I went ahead and shoved my pipe through the wall. I will go outside. Alright, I got my pipe through the wall and measured out. And so I was able to mark it in here and then cut and bend all these flanges. Alright, I took the pipe back out of the wall after I marked it. I put this pipe through the wall that distance. I came inside and I marked around where the wall is. And now we're going to cut about 1 inch above that.
Fallout style jazz radio. 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 Radio. Fallout style jazz radio. Fallout style jazz radio. Oh,
Now I'm going to put a screw right in here to help hold it.
I recommend putting 3 screws on the inside on the tabs instead of any screws on the outside. Don't spin out the drywall, you need holding strength.
At any time, go ahead and get some blocks set up so you can set your panel on the blocks. Now the way you can do that is you put your pattern on the wall, and then wherever the bottom is on the pattern is where the bottom of the box is. And you can put the blocks, get them right up to the bottom of the pattern before you start. Go ahead and run some tape around the outside of your pipe here.
Gone nuts, it's clear as day. Doomsday's here, but I'm cool, okay. Watch us or cry, why hide and bail when we can buy.
I made 2 tinfoil donuts out of the tinfoil, and these are going to go over the pipe to help keep that spray foam from creeping to inside of the box.
They're about 1 inch thick and they help make good stoppers too.
Neighbors freak, they're bolting fast. I'm just here with my cocktail glass.
All right, got your spray foam ready, and some screws, and your brackets. And I've got the drill and a drill bit. Just a small drill bit because we're going to pre-drill into the frame. We don't need to pre-drill into the house. Have all that ready. I've also got a pallet over there with a towel on top so I can lean it up against the panel after I set it up there. All right, let's go ahead and put the foam on around the pipes. You got to shake the stuff up good.
The sky's still up, but not for long. I'm cutting glass while drones hum along. Smoke rolls in, must be wildfire season. Building heat while the grid finds a reason. Don't blame.
The panel is relatively light, so installation can be done solo if you're comfortable. Wear gloves to protect your hands. Grip the sides evenly to prevent twisting. Keep a heavy object like the pallet within reach to stabilize the heater while you or a helper holds it up. Avoid installing on very windy days. The glass edge can be sharp. Handle with care. Now it's just a matter of shimmying it left to right if your blocks are at the right height at the bottom. All right, I've got a pallet leaning up against it to hold it in place while I go inside and check it out and see if everything looks all right from inside. Inside, look through the pipe and see if your pipe is protruding into the panel. If too much, then make the adjustment while screwing the heater to the wall.
Get your sombrero on and let's drill. I'm gonna pre-drill the bracket into the edge of the block.
Pre-drill one at a time, not all three at once. You could put a dab of silicone on the head of each screw before you put it in. The trim will hide any fugliness.
So go ahead and do your other 4. Try to leave at least a 1-inch gap between the back and the wall.
I met her on the moon last night when the sun was on the run. She was walking like a penguin and I thought she might be fine. My baby smells like fish and my baby knows that's cute to see sickness. Everybody knows it shows.
You'll notice a little condensation between the glass and the foil in there. With that hole we made in the bottom and the cotton ball in there, it'll dry out. You can take that cotton ball out, let it dry out a little bit quicker, but that's just residual moisture. We're going to install the solar panel down here close to the intake side over here. We're going to be putting it about right here. So I want to drill 3 holes through the edge of the panel and at a little bit of an angle outward. So next you're going to take your long 1/4-inch bit and we're going to drill through the wall toward the pipe. So we want to try to get close to the pipe.
Oh, my baby clothes, she glows. Then the bison ate the grass, but none of us could see. We were falling really fast and we...
Alright, I'm going to go check inside and see if I need a rod to make it further through. It's not as close to the pipe as I would like, so what I'm going to try to do is put my filter over to this side a little bit to help cover the wire where it comes through the wall. Let's go ahead and cut the solar panel wire at about 4 feet or so. Now on your rod, we're going to tape the wire right to the end of it so we can pull the rod and the wire through the wall.
My baby knows that's cute to see sickness. Everybody knows it shows. Oh, my baby glows, she glows in the dark.
It's taped nice and tight, so I'm going to go ahead and pull it through the wall. You're going to use your remaining hinge screws to put this panel in. So go ahead and start 1 screw in. I want any sunlight that hits the panel to kind of shade the wire where it goes through the wall. So I'm going to put it right here.
Love transcended everything. Boundaries fell apart. Time and space was not a thing. And everything.
I'm not trying to drill all the way into the panel. I'm just getting it held there for now so I can silicone in that wire. Now you go ahead and put your silicone in the hole next to the wire, and then we'll pull a little bit of slack out of it. That's where about where the panel is going to go right there. And I've got enough wire to come down and make a loop. So if any water gets on there, it'll drip off the bottom of that loop.
My baby smells like fish, and my baby knows. As cute as seasickness, everybody knows it shows. Oh, my baby glows, she glows.
Okay, I've got the wire pulled through the wall. It's not as close to the pipe as I would like, so what I'm going to try to do is put my filter over to this side a little bit to help cover the wire where it comes through the wall. Broke my thumbnail out there, all for science. Now I'm going to put a face on this upper hole. I'm going to show you how to do that. And I went ahead and laid it out for all my screw holes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then there's going to be a 4-inch hole in the center, so I've got that center marked. And then I'm going to cut it across here just to make the board square. Alright, I'm going to take a 1/8 inch drill bit, and I'm going to drill through my 4 top holes there. And I went ahead and did 1 screw here halfway, 1 screw here halfway between there and there, 1 at 1 inch in there and 1 inch in there. Same thing to this one, and then 1 halfway between there and there. Using a 3/8 inch drill bit or a countersink. I want to countersink all of my holes enough to where the head of the screw goes down flush with the board. I've got a little ways to go on that one. This will make it look nicer. It's almost there. That's about perfect. When you got them at the depth you like, you can put your drill in reverse and just go like this. That'll help clean out the hole and the edge.
Wasteland tip: never argue with a raider holding a chainsaw. Last guy who tried is now called Bits. Stay smart, stay intact, and remember, chainsaws don't negotiate.
And you want to make sure you have a nice smooth surface. So you want to take down any burrs or anything like that from that upper edge. Go ahead and you remove any burrs off from the backside as well. Drag your knife backwards. Just lightly. Now you can go ahead and take this board and scrub it down with some pretty hot soapy water. Now we're going to build a 12 by 12 frame to go around this filter, and the fan and everything on the inside, it will kind of hide it, and it will help filter the air too. You're going to need your the rest of one of your pipes. Mark your board at 12 inches and 24 inches, and you'll go and you can cut that. And then you're going to cut 2 at 10.5 inch long each. Go ahead and pre-drill the ends of the longer boards.
Wandering through the dust and debris, a lone wolf in a burying spree. The sunburned sky is the 1 degree.
Now go ahead and arrange a box shape with your longer board here and here, and your shorter board there and there. And go ahead and screw it in from the ends. Just barely sink them below the surface of the wood. Go all the way around and put in your 8 screws. Now let's go ahead and cut the remaining piece of pipe to
3 inches wide times 2.
Just memories blowing down the street, riding the winds of the wasteland, a hope buried deep under sand, chasing shadows of what once was. In this land lost, we face our cause. I'm gonna show you.
Now you'll trim off the ends and make sure it's 12. They're 12 inches long each. Now what you're going to do is you can either use a bender like I did, or put your straight edge over the aluminum, and then you run your knife down it a couple of times, not too hard or else you'll cut through it. And then with your thumbs held down, you can bend it up slowly.
I'm gonna show you how to stay warm in apocalypse winters, after the world is unborn.
Now let's go ahead and screw the brackets in. I've got my brackets screwed on. Put some nuts under the head of the screws, or else the screws were coming through the box. And I've got that on both sides, one on each side. Okay, take your flashing strips, and you're gonna lay them on the edge of the box. Put your filter on. On the opposite side of the box is your brackets. I'm just gonna put 2 screws in, but I want them to be equal because you'll get it where you want and marked, and you'll pre-drill it. Put a screw in that, then I'll pre-drill the other one, put a screw in it. You want to make sure you press down on it a little bit, put a little pressure on your filter, but you don't want your filter to have a hard time coming in and out, so. Your upper vent, go ahead and screw in the thermostat really gently. Make sure you don't bottom out those screws too hard. I'm going to cut the wires to about 6 inches beyond the hole here. Separate your wires. Go ahead and strip the wires. About a 1/2 inch worth. And on your crimpers, you're going to use the 16-14 gauge crimp spot here. You'll put your wire in, and then you'll crimp it right there. Always give your wires a little tug. Okay. You don't want any wire showing. You want to make sure your jacket is up inside. And then you'll go ahead and push these onto the thermostat. Doesn't matter if the black is on the right or the left. Now go ahead and hold your cutting board up there and make sure it's centered. And then drive in all of the screws. But don't overdrive them, just up to the plastic, because you don't want to spin out the drywall.
And go ahead and take all the screws back out, and then you're going to put your black silicone around the rim. Now I definitely recommend using a hand driver to put the rest in, or just snug them down. And now you can push in on the board as you tighten the screws down. Any silicone that comes to the inside, squeezes out, just leave it and take a razor knife and cut it off later. Alright. Go ahead and hold your parchment paper up there across them top screws. And now you can see the hole here, so I'm going to come out here about 1 inch away and trace around it.
The sky's still up, but not for long. I'm cutting glass while drones hum along. Smoke rolls in, must be wildfire season. Building heat while the grid finds a reason. Don't blame me, I didn't push the button.
Alright, we're down here at the bottom hole. And I've got my wire pulled out. Make sure you're very careful when you do that, of course. Make sure you don't poke a hole in the foil. And on the label side of your fan, or the wind that way side of your fan, you'll go ahead and break off one of the tabs. Instead of breaking those two, just drill them to 1/4 inch. Alright, go ahead and insert your draft stopper, and right on the back side of that lip, just mark the aluminum so we can drill through it. Let's go ahead and drill the hole for the wire to go through, and then we'll drill around here to pull it through the wall. Make sure that you're going back far enough to where you miss this lip. So make sure you drill that hole far enough in. Starting with 1/8 inch and going all the way up to like 3/8.
If it works, I'll toast my win. If it fails, well, fire's still in.
Using a 3/4 inch spade bit. Be careful not to chew up the wire on the sharp edge. Now you can use some needle nose pliers and try to pull it through that bottom hole. Or you can tape a metal wire to it to fish it through.
Hey there, psychos and scavengers. Galaxy Groove Radio here with a hot deal you won't want to miss. Crazy, Kev's Discount Depot is now offering 50% off slightly used grenades. That's right, half the price. Double the chance they actually work. Need a bang for your buck? Kev's got you covered. Just maybe don't ask about the burn marks.
the metal in there, go ahead and flatten out any sharp spots. And then we're going to take silicone and fill in around it, really encase it in the silicone. All right, take your thermostat red and strip it back about a ½ inch. And your solar panel red, strip it back about a ½ inch. Get out your 16 gauge disconnect. Twist your solar red and your thermostat red together. Put the disconnect over it. Squeeze it. Make sure you push the jacket up inside just a little bit. Give it a tug. Tug, 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 tug. Now you're going to take the thermostat black and the fan red, and you're going to crimp those two together. Give each a tug, and then finally the solar panel black and the fan black will get twisted and crimped together. Now put your draft blocker in, make sure that's facing down. The bottom kicks in like that. Make sure it spins. Go ahead and tape your 3 wires together, starting right underneath the terminal, and wrap up, and then tape over the ends, making sure those aren't touching each other. Go ahead and bundle your wire, tape it. Let's go ahead and put the 4 screws in the brackets. And I went ahead and wadded up some electrical tape and filled that hole right there so I don't have any draft blowing out of it. And I have plenty of room over here to start the filter to get it in. You could take your box and stand it up if you need to. Nice and sturdy. If you guys stuff the exhaust hole up here, make sure you get behind the thermostat with your stuffing. That'll protect the thermostat, keep the heat out, and keep the fan from coming on.
Well, Wastelanders, Galaxy Groove Radio is still here against all odds and better judgment. If you've made it this far without mutating, go ahead and smash that like button and subscribe, because let's face it, you're already hooked. Remember, the wasteland's rough, but Galaxy Groove is always here to keep you moving, even if it's just dodging shrapnel. Stay weird, stay wild, and stay tuned.